Schedule 1's biggest update ever is finally here, and we got the Benzies family, a brand new car, a new weapon, 3 new haircuts, and a bunch of other changes to parts of the game, so this is everything you need to know. Well, first off, the biggest part of the update, we're gonna see the Benzies family is now in town. You're first gonna encounter them once you unlock a few customers in Westville, which is only the second region you unlock, so it's gonna be pretty early on. There also has been a small change to how we unlock regions though, so now on the customers page, you're gonna see this bar at the bottom that's talking about Cartel influence. In order to unlock the next region, you actually want to lower this level by unlocking customers, defeating ambushes, interrupting cartel deals, or by drawing graffiti. That last part though about the graffiti isn't actually added into the game yet, so don't be confused if you can't figure out where to find spray paint, it's just not added in. So once you're at the right spot in the game, you're gonna get a text from someone named Thomas Benzies, and if you watched my video on Uncle Nelson, you might remember us speculating whether the note we find outside the RV that was signed TB meant the Benzies or if it was someone's initials. So it seems like it actually was from this Thomas guy and not from the Benzies. So we get a text from him asking to meet him outside Taco Ticklers, but we're also told to call Uncle Nelson on the payphone. If we go meet with Thomas, we're told that we need to work with the Benzies. Now, if we accept the deal, then we're going to receive bulk orders from them, say 2 to 3 times a week. However, it's going to be at about half the market price. This also means we can only sell to customers in Northtown and Westville, and that's it. He says that everything else is going to be their territory. This is only if we agree with their deal though, because that would put us in a truce with the Benzies. If not, then they're going to be setting up ambushes on us, robbing our dealers, stealing from our dead drops before we can even get to them, and even taking our customers away from us by dealing to them. Now, I chose to not accept this deal because come on, only giving us 2 regions, and when we sell to them, we're only getting half market price. Now, in the beginning, they say they're only going to be ordering about 15 grams at a time. I think they say 10 to 15 with the ability to go up. Now, in the preview that we got, I think they said that that order was for like 90 grams. So you can go up to that big amount, but still it's going to be at half price, and I just don't think it's worth it. Also, wouldn't it just be more fun to actually like butt heads with them? I mean, sure, it'd be cool to, do the bulk deals, but we're going to be losing so many regions by accepting the deal. So dealing with the ambushes and even being able to rob their setups, I think is more fun. Now, by going to the payphone and calling Uncle Nelson, he informs us that Thomas and the last of his goons are holed up in the Hyland Manor. He says that the place is heavily fortified and that we definitely couldn't battle it head on, but he does say there's another way in. This is where we learn about a new tunnel that's been added under the manor. Nelson says it's sealed from the inside, but we could find a way in. He tells us to go talk to Billy at the Koyama Chemical Company and that he can get our hands on some raw explosives. Then we take that to Stan, the weapon dealer, and he can rig up a bomb for us. To actually get into the tunnel though, we're gonna need the help of Sam, the construction worker in town. By paying him $10,000 cash, he'll dig the tunnel for us overnight. In order to get our hands on those raw explosives, Billy asks for 20 pure cocaine in exchange for the RDX, which is what the explosives are called. Just a quick note, you are gonna have to give him the cocaine in the packaged form. I tried to give him just raw cocaine and that didn't work, so make sure you either have it in bags or jars. Now, in order to get Sam to build us the bomb, he actually asks a pretty specific favor from us. He says that there's a thief that's been stealing product from him down at the docks and that we have to go down there and deal with him. If we go down there at night, we're gonna find this new guy that's walking around, so I snuck up on him and took him out, then returned to Stan. He gives us the bomb with no need to pay for anything because of what we did, and he says that it has a 45-second timer. So we go plant it in the tunnel at the manor, but the next thing that happens is kind of interesting. By placing the bomb, it just completely destroys the manor. Oh, defeated. Oh my god. And we see this text pop up at the top that says the Benzies family went from being hostile to just defeated. So it seems like by placing this explosive, you are just completely getting rid of the Benzies. It also says that you can purchase the manor once the Benzies storyline is finished, but I've not been able to do that yet. I tried waiting until the next day in game, but the manor still appears destroyed from the bomb. Now, I didn't give it a ton of time, I didn't give it days or weeks in game to see if it either gets repaired or if maybe Uncle Nelson calls us back, but I don't really know exactly what the next step is in order to buy the manor. So if you want to experience more of the cartel, I would just hold up on planning that explosive. If you're starting a new save, you're probably going to have more than enough time to experience what the update brings, but I never actually dealt with the Benzies while completing the new mission. There was only one interaction I had with the cartel while completing the mission, and that was that my dealer Molly was robbed of about $4,000, which I think is all the cash she had on her, but I never personally encountered the Benzies or their deals to interrupt. Now, I did find these photos in the Discord, which looks like your dealers are able to defend themselves sometimes. Here we can see Leo Rivers says that he was able to defend off some Benzie goons with no product or cash lost. Now, you're also able to put weapons in their inventories, so I'm not personally sure whether this actually has an effect on whether they're able to defend themselves or not, but it would make sense if it helped out, so maybe go ahead and try that. So like I said, if you want to experience the Cartel specifically, I would just hold off on planning that explosive at the manor, or just start a new save, because that's going to give you more than enough time. Moving on to some of the other stuff that got added in, we can check out this new vehicle, which we did get shown about a week ago, but it turns out we actually can buy it. It's called the Hotbox, and it's modeled after the Mercedes G63, also called the G-Wagon. It's gonna cost $30,000 to buy, and here you can see it in just a few different colors. We also got this new pump shotgun that costs $7,500, and I got to test it out a little bit. I used it to take out that thief at the docks, but also got to test it on some police and some bad customers. We also got 3 new haircuts that came as a bit of a surprise. Now this first one here, the long slick back, we actually did get a sneak peek of during one of Tyler's developer live streams, but the other 2 we've never seen. We got one called the Tony, which is likely inspired by Tony Soprano, and we also got the close buzz cut, which looks pretty interesting if you ask me. Personally, I'm going to be rocking the Tony. Now, as far as some of the more interesting changes, we see that the non-police NPCs can now use ranged weapons. This could just be limited to the Benzies members, but maybe we'll see certain customers also get an upgrade to their weaponry. So far, I still see many of my customers wielding knives, but at least we know the Cartel members will be armed. Also, one change that I like is that if you attack a customer, they're actually not going to order from you for the next 72 hours. I feel like this makes the gameplay a little bit better because at least now there's going to be some consequences if you assault your own customers. Tyler also changed it so that now if you drop an unconscious NPC into the water, it's going to end up killing them. Also, if your dealers are dead or unconscious, this is going to cancel any of the deals that they had lined up. You can now pickpocket police, and my first attempt didn't go that great. And you can pickpocket NPCs that are either dead or unconscious now too. We also got one change to multiplayer, and that's the ability to view the dialogue of other players talking to NPCs, which is hopefully going to be very helpful from all the new text dialogue we got from this update. There's also been a couple new commands added into the console, so for fun, we got the set gravity multiplier. By entering say 0.5 or 0.25, you can start jumping around like you're on the moon. We also got set region unlocked, which is probably going to allow you to bypass the Cartel influence leveling, and a forced sleep command that I imagine could be used to instantly skip the day. This update is only shipped out on the beta branch, so if you're not sure how to enable it, I'm going to quickly show you how. Alright, so in order to switch over to the beta version, it's super simple. All you have to do is go to Schedule 1 in your Steam library, right click on it, go into Properties, and then you'll have this betas page here, so click on that. Beta participation. So right here, this little drop down menu, yours is probably going to say none. All you have to do is click on beta, and it should automatically update the game. You can go down to the bottom downloads, and you should see it installing the beta version of the game. Then you'll have all the new content. Now just go and have fun with the new update. You can check out all my other Schedule 1 videos right here on screen. Just click that playlist button. As always, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.